Right, welcome back. Last time, we actually started to get the burghers in as a political force, at least at the province level. Of course, apparently they seem to be too weak in order to actually have an effect on the uh, national level, so I still can't interact with them, which is rather annoying. At the very least, I'm able to deal with the gentry effectively, even if it means just spamming promoting their own influence. Which is annoying, but something that I can handle eventually, especially since I'm undercutting their natural influence through privileges. Or well, their pre-support influence. Yeah, okay. Pre-support influence by cutting down on the privileges that actually boost it. Right now, the focus is going to be on boosting burger power as best as I can manage. Although it does seem like all they need is time. They also seem to be earning a constant income anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Though I will also say that the commercial districts are hemorrhaging money from the treasury, with the state-owned ones. The rest, well, they're just earning the burgers' money, which is both good and bad. The fact that they're earning money does mean that they'll be gaining more power from wealth, and as the burgers, that's where all their power comes from, for the most part. Still, some of that money's coming from me, which is rather annoying. Especially since I need to save up money because the urban population has overstepped the amenities capacity to handle them, because I have no amenities, and that limit is therefore 3K. So I'm gonna have to build it up at some point, or hope that one of the other estates build it up. The only ones capable of affording it at the moment are the nobles, who are usually very unwilling to invest into anything. The clergy are the closest, but they still don't, well, they don't have enough money, that's A, and B, in general they tend to avoid investing in, or well, I'm not so certain on whether or not they invest into infrastructure or not. The burgers definitely do, though. But I think at the moment they actually has, well, they barely have more money than I do. They have less money than I do. It's more than half the amount of money I have, but still. Less money than I do. It's gonna take time for them to actually build that up. Huh. Ah. One, four, six. Plenty of mill points. It does look like Bremenville has decided to take advantage of the fact that Schleswig-Holstein has been beaten up in a separate war, and Verli is no longer willing to help. Oh, and they also called in Denmark. Yeah. I have no chance of surviving a war with them, though, because Oldenburg and all that, so I'm just gonna let it happen and see what changes. hopefully, it won't end up with my only route of expansion, at least on land, being Bremen-Verden or Denmark. I seriously hope that doesn't happen. It's going to be difficult going from level along sea provinces and all that. Right, the last idea. Simplicity of money. Worth defined by wealth is straightforward. There are no contests over obscure lineage or religious dispute. He who buys wins. Capital merchant generation plus 100%. I have no idea what that means. And yearly Republican tradition plus 0.1. It could mean that the capital province produces twice as many merchants as would, or perhaps makes it so that the capital now produces a merchant. Basically getting you one extra merchant without having to mess with the systems behind it. I'm not sure. But also plus 0.1 yearly Republican tradition and merchant trade power has been increased by 1. I am half hoping that I get a merchant now, because I can just set it to collect trade here. I can finally start to earn more money than 0.01 ducat a month. It certainly increase the amount of trade power I have. Merchant present is 1.5 for Lubeck. Whether or not they have plutocratic ideas. Okay, so they do have full plutocratic ideas. And naval ideas. I don't think they affect, I don't think their other ideas affect trade power. Wait, what else do they have? Bureaucracy. I don't think that affects merchant trade power. If not the first two. Nope. It's administration costs, yeah. Costs. And what was the other one? Naval ideas. Naval... Okay, ship trade power buff, but nothing involving merchants. As I figured. Okay. Okay, so let's hand it off to Denmark. They took everything. Wow. Although I figure the Emperor is going to try to pressure the return of a province from Bremen-Verden. Still, this is pretty bad news. So now we got someone else breathing down my neck. Oh, well, if I get extremely lucky, they might convince Bremen-Verden to get rid of this province right here, which would make it very easy for me to conquer them. Theoretically. Of course, they're going to have a rank 2 fortification there, which would not be possible to siege down. So. Huh. I could just pick it up, but it's going to cost 683 power. I think it might be better just to wait and save the power, so that I can maintain the ahead of time bonus for as long as possible, as well as the slow uptick of innovativeness, rather than have it disappear. Yeah, it's probably better that way. Anyway. So, as for local events, Bremen-Verden and Denmark just successfully managed to split up Schleswig-Holstein between them. Great. Actually, Schleswig-Holstein has actually lost the cores on these provinces. So now, well, my only expansion directions are frickin' Denmark, which sound like an amazing idea. Bremen-Verden, who also happens to be allied with Denmark, so probably not a great idea. Friesland, who is powerful enough to have 2k, but is probably one of the out of the 4 second easiest to deal with, and Oldenburg, who happens to also be allied with Friesland, and is in total the easiest to deal with because I only have to deal with 3k troops and 4 ships. So yeah, expansion is going to take a lot, even longer than initially anticipated, because I also would need to build up a navy beyond 1 cog, more like 3 cogs in a light ship or galley or something. So, but that's something to be handled later. The nobles, I was hoping to do a reform, but apparently they had too much influence, despite the fact that it was actually lower than it's supposed to be. I had basically this amount of influence for them, and yet I was unable to actually pass the reform. Oh, I probably didn't have the power for it. Oops. Well, at least now I know. Sure, let's just force the reform. It'll cost me some power, but I don't care. I've already completed plutocracy idea, so I don't really need it. The plus 0.1 to yearly Republican tradition is going to help quite a bit in trying to get that stuff up high, because I want it to be high, simply because stability reasons. The higher this is, the better my stability, and I need good stability. Otherwise, yeah, it's difficult to pass reforms otherwise. Anyway, this will reduce their influence, reduce state corruption, and reduce prestige decay. However, it will also reduce space relations with them, and of course, damage loyalty and, well, relations, and cost points. Everything costs points. Oh, and I've also managed to get the burghers to be an actual force. I have been directly increasing their power, though, by using urban autonomy, promoting urban autonomy, which gives them a plus 1%. I'm not sure how long that's going to last. Well, it's going to last 10 years. I'm not sure if it's going to continue increasing after that point, but by the way it looks, it's probably going to end up hitting about 12% by the time it expires. Maybe just 11%? Could be even just 10%. I'm not sure where the resting point for the power is. I'm not entirely certain how the relationship is between resting point and actual value. Though I do feel that it's, this change is actually slower than it is for corruption, perhaps? Because with corruption, if you were to somehow maintain the rate of change for 10 years, it would basically hit the resting point. With power, I don't think that's the case. So it's consistently at minus 0.29%, despite the fact that their wealth is increasing. I think their share of land is too. The clergy have also been reducing in power slightly. Slightly. But they're less important. The only annoying thing is that they don't pay taxes. The nobility are actively a problem. But yeah. I do wonder. Cosmopolitan. That increases corruptions. I mean, everything has drawbacks. Everything. Corruption, corruption. Giving the gentry gravity and, you know, even more money. Gravity. Corruption, corruption, autonomy. Jeez. The hierarchy increase is actually nice. This one's obvious. Less taxes. Though I can do this. This will help keep them happy in case but I'm gonna save those for desperate measures or when I really need to change something quickly. Because once I put them in, I can't take them back, so... when I feel I need to speed up the rate of change of something. Oh, and state reach has hit 16%, 16.5%. So the second reform is now theoretically available if I can scrape together the influence needed for it, just to appoint magistrates across the realm, which will help with autonomy, stability, and base welfare. Problem is, minus 20 elite loyalty, and plus 20 to provincial corruption. Of course, right now the consequences are pretty minimal. If it weren't for the fact that my budget balance is also pretty minimal. I have actually tried to get the commercial property off my hands, but the system just wouldn't let me. Not entirely certain why. I just wasn't able to. It's just great. Wonder if the Grindle's expired? Yes, it has. I probably should turn that back on. Stability points are low end. Oh, wow, they're falling fast. If I hadn't done that, I might have dropped down to -1. Yeesh. 1386. Is anything expire that I should know about? Doesn't look like it. Influential aristocrats. Expanding the bureaucracy of lieutenant abuse. Yeah, everything's good for now. 1395, 1395, 1389. Yeah, okay. Right. Aside of that, I've basically just been letting the economy stabilize itself. Well, population's growing in general. Peasants are coming in. And residents too, though they're also dying, the residents. The clergy are actually emigrating. Or at least one person of the clergy actually emigrated. Wow. It was interesting to see the price of various goods change. That does seem to be mostly the ones that I'm producing a lot of, which is at least nice. Although increasing food prices tends to be a bad sign. But yeah, the industries are slowly becoming more profitable again. Specifically the rural ones. The urban industries are still losing quite a bit of cash, and the commercial sector is as mercurial as it usually is. And annoyingly, I'm taking a good brunt of that. Yeesh, 4 ducats a year. That's 0.33 a month. I'm not sure if I can actually afford that. That might be bad. But yeah. The White Horde is being eaten up by Poland. Lovely. I wonder which provinces they're going to take. Apparently they're at war with Muscovy as well. That only has Moscow. No, they don't even have Moscow, they have Mozaisk. Moscow's owned by Poland. I guess we might not be getting a Russia this game. Oh well. Everything's stabilizing, sort of. The economy at least is. The political situation not so much. With a third player in the game, or I guess fourth player in the game now, this is gonna get interesting fast. But yeah, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.